and someone can volunteer the recap.
I did it last week.
Wait, no, you didn't.
I did it the week before.
So, like, I've done it at some point.
Oh,
Where
no,
did we?
Did I not?
What was the start? Where do we start from? Were we in the?
Right. Lord,
We went to the
Lord
wall.
Silas had been killed and revivified.
Oh, yeah.
The High Lord Silas had been killed and revivified. High Lord Mortimer has got no legs, and High Lord Ogric has got a mashed potato arm. The group arranges for the three lords to curry favour with the Sleepless Veil, the Veil, and Silas coming along with the group. Raquel insists to Tenos that she could have taken the hammer and that she wants to keep Tenos safe. Tenos retorts, "Diplomacy first, action later." Raquel agrees to speak with her father regarding the incoming forces and keeping them on side, and the group went off to Rosh's hideout to survey the sword. Rosh states that things look like they've escalated. If you cannot kill the hammer easily, speed is key. He introduces the group to three of his finest recruits in the new vow. They specialize from disrupting it on the inside. Mogrim, Tink, and Metherin. Rosh said that there's a small scout party ahead of the main Amson-Bell forces, and that the Amson-Bell forces will not attack unless they are attacked first, or unless they receive a signal. He also said that he will only take orders or instructions from the man Wilfred.
Fred.
Yes. The men on the walls are a smattering of all people who will follow the command of their individual. Can you hear this in the background at all? No.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! It's like I'm currently sat underneath a runway. So loud. Anyway, so the men on the wall will follow the command of their individual commanders and leaders. Mogrim, the dwarf, appears to specialise in combat. Methawin, the elf, states a good commander has 2 ears and 1 mouth. She appears to be pragmatic and sensible. And Tink seems to be specialising in general clockworky things. My notes suggest potential general subterfuge. Rosh agrees to proceed with diplomacy initially, and if threats need to be issued, he'll only act on instructions from Wilfred. In the hideout, the group gather around the sword. Tenos places his hands on the weapon and recognise it as having the soul of Tauchi in it, and you can see that the edges of the swords are constantly shifting. Faust looks at the blade, and as he touches the glyphs, they change into words. One side reads, "Power is neither good nor evil. I am power." And the other says, "The greatest power is the soul. Thrust all the way, I consume." Rosh bursts in, saying that the forces are here. Crack on. The group, the 3 High Lords and the commanders, gather to see what's been said. Faust delivers a speech, and whilst all of the commanders appear to be fairly G'd up, one commander, Commander Bastian, turns to his forces and says, "Fuck this," and starts a fight. saying, "As long as I'm alive, you'll follow my orders. Light the fuckers up." To which proceeds a quite an interesting fight with Bastian, who seems to control chains, which ultimately finished in his demise. During that time, the new wizard man managed to put an impenetrable wall just in front of the trebuchet, stopping it from being able to do anything. Tenos was floating around having a great old time, trying to rescue Faust, who'd been caught round his neck, and was
Pretty useless, that fight, yeah.
pretty useless. I think that's the gist of it. I don't know if I've missed anything there.
Some various Tarzan sword swinging and being garroted, Faust being garroted over the edge of the wall. I think Clive managed to release Faust from the chains, right?
So it was like a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Either
And the
attacking
fall
the
killed him,
chains or
yeah.
the chains. He tried to grab onto Tenos as he fell, due to Tenos floating from a nice spell from Rip to levitate him. But he, I think, he either failed the throw or Tenos was able to move out the way or something, and then he fell to his death. The only thing that I could think of notice is we were interrupted when the captains were asking for who's going to lead everybody. So we never actually said who.
We alluded to they deserve the right to choose a leader for themselves,
Oh, yes, that's right.
and said that we will gather and scout ahead the not impromptu plan, thanks to the inspiration flashback, that we definitely planned.
Oh, yes, yes.
Said that we will basically amass a force to go fight Athelion and scout ahead. And I don't believe we elaborated more from that. We didn't, which we may do in a minute. But post battle, I don't think we did anything. It turned Bastian was, I believe, Telos showed him the sword, and he was like, "I'm having that. Thank you very much, the Veil sword." So I think Bastian was a member of the Veil, or at least knew of the sword and the ranks of the Veil. So it's safe to assume him and his company were Veil, or still are Veil.
Yeah. Also, during the fight, as Bastion's minions were attempting to set off the catapults and whatnot, Wilfred got Roche to act and stop.
Cause chaos on the other group.
Yeah.
And we're down a trebuchet.
Yeah, you're ingeniously down a trebuchet, sidestepping quite a large battle, and down one unit, which was taken out by mostly by Mogram, but everyone else in that unit fleeing when they're seeing their commander dead, but seems to have solidified the loyalty of the rest of the the rest of the Hammer forces on the wall. So we rejoin things. You have averted the violent breakdown of this delicate alliance that you've managed to broker between these two armies, and you have their forces at your disposal. With the caveat being, as I said in the WhatsApp chat, that you can't have, although the governor is there with you, you can't have him go and fight Athelion. The governor is staying in the Hammer, but you have the rest of the amassed forces there to do with how you please. Because of your choice of who you decided to bring along, so you didn't go to the tower, you didn't go to the academy, you went to the watch. They're not particularly skilled in kind of specialist stuff, but they will follow all orders and they will stand their ground. You discussed a few activities you might want to do during a rest period, and there is time to do that. But it is up to you guys now as to what you want to do. You know that Athelion is walking towards you guys. You have some time, but you don't have infinite time. And you think you have several tools at your disposal to take him out. Who has the sword, by the way? Is Cairn still carrying that around? It was Tennis.
Tenos, I believe. Tenos has it on his back at the minute.
Gotcha.
Ken, the only thing Ken has is Tenos' cloak.
That's it, yeah.
He was wearing field armor, but then Tenos took that back. Right, what we do first?
I think if you wanted to have a play with the sword, well, in fact, so we agreed. We agreed that we're looking to engage Athelion away from town.
Yes.
We
We're
lose
not
the
waiting for him
benefit.
to get here. We're
Exactly,
going-
we lose the benefit of the trebuchets, but hopefully it
We
will
don't
stop.
destroy half the city.
Exactly, hopefully the city won't be razed to the ground. Okay, cool.
That's if we win, though. If we TPK and lose, then he's going to destroy the city anyway.
Then I mean, yeah, but then there's the trebuchets. There's a second line of
Yeah.
defense.
Well, I mean, we need someone to man the trebuchets, but we'll get to that.
We could leave a skeleton crew to command them as a
Well.
last resort.
Quite. I'm sure there would be an interested king of the underworld that would like something to do. So we want to fight him away from the city, so we need to kind of establish where we're going to meet and gather, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking we can. So we're planning to send out a scout party, right? Is that correct? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could probably get the party to figure out where Athelion is and where's best for us to intercept him. And then we set up camp there.
So maybe
Yeah.
a scout from each regiment? A scout from each?
Yeah.
I think so. And in terms of leadership, are we happy there being like a council, like a war council? Members of the High Lords, Amps and Burlot, Sleepless Vale, us.
I think
So-
if we sell it under the sense of this is a war council to get us through this sticky period with Athelion, and then figure out the longer term, perhaps management structure.
Okay. Cool. Management structure of the world. Okay.
So if you guys want to do stuff while you're resting, Wilfred could take charge of organising the scout party and sending them off, as he only needs 4 hours for a long rest due to
Okay.
him being an elf. So he can do that and then get his 4 hours rest.
That sounds good to me. I think as far as Faust is concerned, I think it's pretty much just game time now, right?
Yeah.
As much as going to the town and speaking with upgrading gear and whatnot. I think that's lovely if you've got a sword and shield, but unless anyone's got any spare, I don't even know what an upgrade for a warlock would look like. I don't know.
Well,
fucking clockwork
shoes.
souls.
I'll ask your patron. I'm sure he'll be able to give you an insight.
Well, we'll see.
So are you going to rest with Clive?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything there for me.
Where you guys going to hold up?
Health pots. I don't know. I think probably just
Just in the
wherever.
barracks, wherever the
the barracks
guys
is
on the wall have
fine.
been
Well,
resting.
I'd assume Riptol's place.
Yeah.
Oh
sound-
yeah, you've got your fancy mansion.
Probably got a few of them. To
Oh
be honest.
yeah, nice
Lost
soft
count.
bed.
Is Rip spending? You mentioned wanting to spend your long rest examining the beefed up ring. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, for sure. He'll at his place he'll take it into his lab slash study and really give it a good once over.
I will share it with just you for now, and you can choose whether. So it is in the loot section. Top paragraph is new in the description. So it's up to you as to whether you would share that with everyone or if you would keep that information to yourself.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Ooh.
Have I accidentally shared that with everyone?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
No, I don't.
Guessing by Dave's
I
reaction.
think Dave's just opened
No.
up the item.
Is this not the Dwarfkin's ring that we're looking at?
There's an extra.
Yeah.
Only Ollie's meant to be able to read it.
So
It's
there's,
alright. I don't think you
there's
can steal it.
Dwarfkin's ring and upgraded Dwarfkin's ring. That's two
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, okay. Oh, in that case, there's a bit of Dwarfkin's ring. The first paragraph I missed, which creatures can telepathically communicate you if you're. Oh, only if you allow it. Okay, I misread that.
I thought that's the whole reason Faust was fascinated with the ring.
No, it was more of a keepsake of his fallen thing before he kind of got a bit bitter about it.
A jilted lover.
Oh yeah, that was the whole people. You mean to actually read thoughts? That was the whole. That was the original effect of the ring, other than
It was a
you go
long-
into it when you die.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, because you originally thought it meant you could you were immune to some other thing.
Okay, so we're saying
you were using that
that
ring when we started.
we're saying that I'm retarded in 2 or 3 different ways over the course of this campaign.
Probably a few more. It's
My
all those planes
retardedness.
going across.
It's like the blade. It's ever shifting.
What, your memory?
Okay.
My memory and retardedness.
Oh god.
Okay.
So with Tenos, there's a couple of things he wants to be able to do, but it depends on how much time we have.
You've got a long rest with.
So Tenos is going to basically reconvene with the group for a short rest towards the end of that cumulative long rest.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, he's going to, I assume via various people that we've met and we're all kind of gathered up, wants to find an artificer.
Okay. To what end?
So where to augment some of the beholder bits he's found along his way into upgrading his gear, or at least in a useful way, to be able to augment them in a useful way.
What if
Okay.
you were to augment your child? Like give him some sort of like. See if you
Hey,
get, like, some sort of.
hey, that feels like
points or something.
crossing some questionable lines there. But what, some like beholder teeth?
Eye in the palm of his hand, and he just goes like that. Just like ray of thickness or something or small spell.
Did you say ray of dicks?
Ray of dicks.
Yeah, ray of dicks. Or would it be
New
Dick
Pokemon.
Ray?
Ray of dicks. I choose you. I had a thought. Speaking of Ray of Dicks, I had a thought on the way home about the Medusa's head. Obviously, number one, what's Tenos's intrigue with it? But more importantly,
Nunya?
it is. Oh, okay.
Or is it Tenos is thinking, I can't trust anyone with important stuff?
Probably.
Yeah, in a shocking turn of events, Tenos is actually the big bad guy. He's collected the most powerful artifacts in the world. Is it worthwhile, on the assumption that we're using it as like a combat thing, having like a little bucket to put it in with a slot, so you can kind of like like the lantern, like flick it up, cast it, and then put it back down again, like whoop, which makes it a little less scary.
Is this Dave saying this, or is this Dave saying this, or Faust saying this?
No, it's me. It's me. I was thinking about it on the way home today.
My logical answer to that is turning stuff into stone in our group who's immune to petrification.
I mean,
All
can
you do is you go down the X-Men route.
Well, I
and
don't
do,
know.
like what Cyclops had, and put like some shades on him, on the head.
Well, yeah, that exact type of thing. Like some way of turning it on and turning it off and directing it.
A Medusa's delivery mechanism.
We've
Yes.
lost our person that can fight with a bag on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we could try and fashion something, but you assume Tenos wants to actually share the head with the rest of the group.
I mean, this is part of the reason I was raising it.
So in terms of getting someone who getting someone who can use the beholder guts to augment your gear, you got realistically two options. You can go to Forge and try and get back in his good graces, and maybe offer him something to let him do it. It seems like the kind of thing that would be very much in his wheelhouse in terms of using it for a more magical end. Or you can use one of Roche's specialists, who he has nearby, is good at that stuff and is to hand. But that would be much more using it as a reagent, and it would be a more chemical process rather than a magical process.
If Maxwell Tinkerston's in town. A friend from Amson Burl, who was an artificer. And,
Are you saying you have a friend?
I know a guy. Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. I know a guy. I think Tenos is going to take his chance with Forge first, and assuming he survives, he'll go with Plan B.
Okay, so
Take some flowers.
you would have to offer Forge something.
Yeah, give me 30 seconds. Before I go and see Forge, I'll consult with Sildar to see if he has any insight or any kind of words of wisdom for what I could use to parlay with Forge. He would have seen him turn into a big meanie.
Talking to the helmet of Sildar, like he would basically just be begging you, don't give the helmet to Forge. Please don't give the helmet to Forge. Like, he doesn't want to be anywhere near this guy. Like, he sees what he does as altogether evil and unnatural. In terms of advice, he would kind of lean towards things that are of a similar kind of, have some kind of arcane power behind them, or that are themselves, he deals in weapons, and that's kind of his thing that he does, as well as the magical stuff, so that could hold some weight as well.
Okay, alright, cool. So Tenos approaches Forges but doesn't necessarily go in.
Yep.
And will knock on what if there's a resemblance of a door, or at the doorway first.
You got a backup character, right?
No.
When Forge just eats you.
I mean, that's fine.
You have returned. What do you want?
We didn't leave on the best of terms, and I wanted to make amends.
I'm listening. I'm not one to deny second chances, not after I would give anything for a second chance of my own. What do you offer?
Where you know where we're heading, and we hopefully have the tool to do what must be done. But I wanted to offer the opportunity, if there's anything upon Athelion or within Athelion you would wish us to bring back to you.
Oh, you will not survive that encounter. Were I still a betting man, that's where I'd put my money.
The offer still stands.
A promise is a promise. I will make you a deal. I will forge anything that's required of me to forge. After Athelion is felled, should you succeed, your companion, one made of stone and flesh, I'll need an apprentice. Bind him to me for 100 years as my apprentice, and I will forge anything you wish.
How far will you go to save the city? Moral dilemma time.
He's thinking about it. What a scumbag.
I mean, there's a literal god walking towards you.
Yeah, as generous as that is, as one who's cursed, should you wish to take away the free will of another, I'm not disrespecting your offer. It is very generous. But I couldn't do that to Clive. Or Ken.
Well then, what do you offer? What do you have upon you right now?
Tenos will remove the blade from his back.
Which one?
Yeah, you've
The
got a
god
few,
killer.
and I think we should be very, very clear about what's being offered.
Should whether I how about this? So with the blade, if I do not return, then feel free to seek out Ken, but under the condition he uses free will to be your apprentice. But under that condition, he will do it. Otherwise, once we have done what we've had to do, the blade, Tauchi's soul, could be yours.
For the first time, you've never seen Forge ever express any real emotion other than that time you made him really angry. He has to kind of stop himself from he kind of bites his lip in excitement.
We have an accord. I a vow which must not be broken. What would you have me forge, my friend?
I somehow feel this is not an equivalent exchange for what I'm asking. So I'll offer up the Beholder Fang and the Eye Stalk. I believe it was the Eye Stalk of the Death Ray, but it could have been any. Tenos is not a monster expert. He was polymorphed as a crow when he was attacking them, so it could be any, but the one he believed was. And asked to augment them into his weapon and his shield.
So, as you've seen him do before, he gestures with his hand, and they float out, and they all go into the forge, and they all kind of fizz and bubble, and they've got the everything starts kind of sparking and flaming, and he. Are you offering up your regular sword to have these infused into?
The sword that he bestowed on me originally, the +1 longsword.
He takes that and he puts it into the forge, and you kind of see it getting white hot. He kind of takes it out and he does a few nice folds and forge welds. Draws out the blade, and he takes some time getting this thing drawn out, impregnated with these reagents, and sharpened, tempered, all of that stuff. And he presents it back to you, and it is now a sword that looks very majestic, but also quite a lot more deadly. It's got a waved flamberge blade now, and the hilt has a beholder shape on it, and he offers it back to you, and he says,
Mighty blades should have mighty names. This is Bloodletter. Once it draws blood, the wound will not heal.
So your sword now, and feel free to change these stats. Attacks with this sword, crit on an 18. And any creature who is hit by this sword will take 1d4 damage forever, every turn.
Fuck.
Damage. Is it magical damage?
If they are cut with this blade, they have a wound that cannot be stymied.
Okay. I will be pasting this into the description of the sword, just to be very clear. Crit on 18, any creature who is hit will take 1d4 forever every turn.
Yep.
Okay, 1d4 damage forever. Wow, that's very cool. Tenos very, very, very carefully puts it back into the sword sheath.
Cutting himself in the process.
Do not forget your promise to me. The recommendation of apprenticeship, or the soul in the blade. I will have Can, or I will have Tauchi.
And then he shows you on your way.
Tenos leaves thinking, did he go too far?
Are you sharing what you've been getting up to with the rest of the group, or you just
No.
gonna keep that to yourself?
No, I'll go. I'll go to the back to the group. I'd like to attempt to, assuming that we're at a barracks and that's where everyone's resting. I'd like to, if there's a quiet, I'd like to attempt to try and use the God Killer on some test dummies to try and take some swings just to see how it feels. Give it a go. But he doesn't. I don't necessarily want to do it in a.
I think there would be a pretty dusty gymnasium in Rip's house.
Oh, yeah, with Rip's house. Oh, yeah, there we go. Fair enough. Stick on a bit of montage music.
So yeah, so you absolutely.
Montage.
You find that like this is a big unwieldy blade, but you find that when you have it and you swing with purpose, the size of the blade seems to change so that it is right for you, and it still is kind of heavy. It's a one and done. Like you are exposed, you got to pick it back up again and do it. But it feels like as you're swinging it, it adjusts to the right size and right weight for you to be able to make the right blow. But then once you kind of stop, it goes back to being this ever so slightly amorphous around the edges, unwieldy, heavy, kind of doesn't really want to be used weapon.
Okay. I think I kind of leaned into what Tenos thought might happen. So it's very
Combo or die.
intent and purpose driven. Curious to see what would happen if someone else wields it, but would keep it wrapped up and on his person for now. But should the others want to, if anyone else in the group wants to try and use it, he would not say no. It's not his to hold.
But so you said he would say no.
Would not say no.
Oh, this is my sword.
No. Okay, and then a short rest with the others.
Okay. So we've done that. We've got Rip examining the ring and finding out what it can do, and deciding whether he's keeping that to himself, telling everyone a lie, or telling everyone the truth.
I already messaged you. That's all he does.
Okay.
He just before he starts all that though, he'd probably be casting Find Familiar, just with some of yesterday's spell slots.
Okay. What familiar are you finding?
Oh, Gubby.
Probably. So I've just completely changed my mind on what I was going to get. So, a rat.
Done.
No, sorry. No. Okay, yeah. Keep rat.
Yeah, you can tell me as and when it's relevant, but you have a familiar.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And we have Wilfred, who's been marshalling together a scouting party to go and figure out how far away Athelion is, his speed, and where best to intercept him with the main force. So you can do this. There are in the marching lot from Amsonburl, the group that had the siege ladders are quite lightly armed and armoured. They can dump the ladders and go as a scouting group, a company of them, or you can cobble together a bit from everyone. It's up to you.
I'll get an even amount from each group. So say like a handful from each.
Okay, so you've got some
just
archers, you got some
so-
spears, you got a brute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more so we got that Hammer and Anson Burl, so that when they go back to their captains, they can reliably get the information from their own people, and they're not worried about they're from Anson Burl, they probably didn't get the right information.
That is wise. Yeah, so they you've mustered together this crack company, and they are ready to they are ready to head out, and because there is a mix of different unit types there, there is disagreement as to the best place to engage them. So, the information you get back is that there is definitely time to get in position and kind of intercept him. You have a choice. There are three options. You can try and get him on the... So there's the kind of the large river mouth estuary that the hammer sits on. You can get him before he hits the water, so kind of ahead of the bank of this river. So if I move this more accurately, I can put a mark, so you can kind of get him there. You can wait until he's waded through, and get him on the nearer bank. Or there's some people who petition for get some boats, get him in the water while he's wading.
Okay.
So there's some people who are going, get him while he's as far away from the hammer as possible. There's some people going, draw him up a bit close, wait until he's kind of had to deal with the river and kind of possibly a bit more worn out, but we are waiting in a position of strength and we can see him coming. And there's some that go, let's get him when he's not expecting it. He's not expecting it when he's wading through the water. Let's get in some boats, and we'll be closer to his closer to kind of the glowing bits from there as we go. So there's disagreement, but you definitely have time to muster forces and get to any of those three positions you wish.
Okay. I mean, I'd obviously discuss this with the rest of the group and the war plans or whatever, but I'd think maybe a mix of two. So we have our main force on the other side of the river,
Yeah.
and then maybe
Vanguard.
have our ranged forces in boats on the river. And then we can retreat across the river if it's too much and attack him as he's passing through.
I'd be very surprised as well if it's not just going to be, just put out there, it's not just going to be Athelium on his own with a massive hitbox. There's going to be the hordes of Athelian. Probably going to have all sorts of creatures and things that have been dormant inside the mountain that will then come out as well. So we want to protect the range from them, I suspect. Maybe, you know. But yeah, sticking the range guys in the boat, I think keeps them safest.
Unless
Yeah, they're gonna have to have
no.
some. They're gonna have to have some melee units in case stuff comes off of the mountain onto their ships. But equally, he can take out an entire ship, so potentially like 2 squads to accompany in one wipe.
How close are you wanting your scouting party to get? How much information on actual Athelion would you like?
I mean, we don't want to endanger them, as we need every person. But at the end of the day, information is the most important part of war, isn't it?
are you sending any? Are you go? Is anyone going along with the scouting party? Are you having any methods of direct communication? Any familiars or any creatures or kind of direct lines that you've got there?
Well, Crow, right?
Ulfred doesn't have any way of people communicating with him, but he can communicate others with his long-range spell thing. But if anyone wants to offer up a potential familiar or companion,
So put it this way: if there's a way of that you guys have of being able to get an accurate visual, I will show you the map now. If not, you're going by the description that these guys give you.
I mean, Dave's Raven's got to be the best option, right?
Yeah, I would be happy to. I hadn't thought of it, so we'll leave it to discretion.
all
He
I've got is
can't.
spending, which is I have to initiate it.
So he can't. He can't do it in real time if it's more than 100 feet away, but he should be able to explain it, parrot it back, or crow it back. Assuming he's allowed to go. Oh, he looks like a big bastard, doesn't he?
So
Jesus Christ.
you'll have to zoom out to fit it all on the screen. But if you zoom
Yeah.
in near his foot, just to give you a sense of scale.
Oh,
There's a
Wow.
little guy there. Or is he actually tall?
He's a giant.
So there aren't kind of hordes of other creatures flocking around this thing. That's not to, well. I think that so there aren't hordes of things flocking around this thing. Tenos, you would know from the stories of the Order of the Broken Oath and kind of the whispers of its first founding. There were giants and creatures and things who called Athelion father. So there must be some kind of spawn or children somehow going on. But you can't see any kind of... There's not like 3 or 4 extra Athelions walking behind him. There's not kind of a load of stuff flying around. But you have that in the back of your mind.
He's going to give birth mid-fight.
Also, is there like any sign of the hammer at all?
Nope.
Okay.
So last you heard, he was off to go and see the ladies.
Yeah.
And he seems to have been, before going to find whoever stole the sword, and he seems to be pretty quiet.
Yeah, I wonder who's got that.
Odd. Right. I mean, do we just ride out and meet him in a little caravan and hope for the best?
Let's not change the plan. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Dave,
What? Why did you assume it's me?
'cause it's you.
What's he done?
Nothing.
You don't want to know.
I saw him measuring stuff, and you can tell
Yeah.
it's you from the colours.
You don't want to see what he was
They're
measuring.
yellow. He's measuring how big his dick was.
And then he drew it.
Okay.
He drew it, of course he did.
Right.
So
Anyway,
I'm assuming that Faust is doing nothing additional
Than
than what's already been told.
just that.
Yeah, cool.
I don't think there's anything else. I mean, other than obviously making sure we got ample pots, potions.
Yeah.
Dennis would like to give just a after, it's pretty evident that this giant mountain is walking towards everyone, I'd like to give maybe just the surrounding militia a bit of a pep talk, just to kind of reassure them, keep them, from turning around and going the opposite direction.
Absolutely. So you are ready to give orders to these people, and you are doing this. From the looks of things, it would not be a stretch to think most, if not all, of these people we are sending out to their death. What are you guys saying to them? And what are your orders?
So are we agreed? Are we agreed where we're engaging?
Wait, where the foot?
Where geographically we're locating?
Anyone who's touched the sword would get the strong feeling instinctively that you want to end up near the head.
Yeah. And sorry, I completely forgot. Rip had popped to his library, and he had picked up a certain artifact. He'd like to use that artifact.
Are you looking at it, or are you adjusting it?
Um,
The second one is dangerous. Extremely dangerous.
wait, you mean to write in it?
If you're intending to change stuff, but if it's a kind of doing it in a way of divining things.
Yeah, no.
I remember now what was agreed. Oh yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Cool. Yes, so he would be asking for as much info on Aphelion and how do we fight him? How do we stop him?
Okay, the response that would come back is the eyes are not the doorway to the soul, but with Aphelion towards the back of the head might be. I remember a blade being or going to be pierced through the back of the head. And then bright white. Soul meeting soul. Meeting soul. Meeting soul. Meeting soul. Meeting soul. Meeting soul.
Whose soul?
Ooh.
Dimension doors.
Dimension door's got 500-foot range.
Yeah.
500 foot.
Um,
How many of those?
Does it?
I forgot about that one.
but you would have to get to his feet to use Dimension Door,
I mean,
and that's going to be the tricky part.
you have to get to a bit of him anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what would be handy really is if we had a fucking 5 million hour flying cat. That would be quite handy.
It probably would.
Or someone who could polymorph into a flying creature and fly up there.
That probably also would, yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't have any of them. We just have some ragtag group of reprobates.
Just a party
got a
of
healer, though. I can
increasingly
heal.
becoming old men.
Yeah.
Oh god. So do we go with a bit of Operation Human Shield to send out some of the?
Well, yeah, your
Yeah.
Vanguard only ever slow them down, so
Yeah.
it would be to meet and engage with whatever they meet and engage with. But that would probably need to be near the edge of the river if we are going to station people on boats. Stationing people on boats is risky.
But,
Yeah,
but
it was just
how are we going to get up Athelion? Assuming that we get to his feet safely, how do we just then got to clamber Are we going to go inside and up?
So you can
would-
you can see kind of basically everything you can see on this map. So you can see that there's kind of it is rocky terrain essentially. Some sheer bits. It's more icy and cold at top. Legs seem more kind of hot. There are kind of dangling, tendrily viney type bits. There's all manner of different ways you could get up.
From Rip's general local knowledge, would he know the depth of the river?
So he would know that it is. Let's see. It's pretty deep because you can get some pretty hefty ships through there. I would say that reliably, sinking into the ground as well, possibly 150, 200 feet.
Okay. So we need to engage him on the river.
But there's also kind of, with water that deep, there's potential for other stuff to be in that water as well.
And also, we've got to go halfway across the river to get to him while he's in the river. And if we fall off, whatever reason, we're falling into the river and probably going to end up 2 miles downstream. But anyway, I guess there's advantages and disadvantages to every situation. We just got to pick one and go for it.
A quick one. In raiding his kind of infirmary and office, etc., etc., would Rip have A, come up with any potions, and B, have any would he have gained any magical items during that? I know I didn't ever give him any.
You can have some potions.
Cool.
The rest of the time you've spent on that ring.
Okay, that's cool.
So
Just
I would
potions.
say you can have. There's 5 health potions. Why not?
Happy days. Good wizard always comes prepared.
Rip would be absolutely loaded anyway, so that's like okay.
Well,
Yeah, are we going to get up that?
We're just going to climb.
I mean,
It's
You
not
just
going to
get
be
some
like
horses.
climbing a sheer wall. It's
Yeah, should we
like
just get some
edges
horses
of-
and ride out to it?
is anyone forgetting that they had a spell of Dimension Door? Faust.
Tenos gave his to Raquel.
Oh.
It only lasts like an hour, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
no, wait, hold on. Not the pearl. There was a spell scroll, Dimension Door.
Yeah, Slicks has it.
Oh,
Yeah.
bloody hell.
Basically, all of the useful things are with either fucking Slicks or Tauchi.
Yeah.
The flaky fuckers.
Slicks has it, and in 3 hours, Slicks is going to be using it.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
That's interesting. We don't know what's going to happen with him because I gave Rick some instructions and I don't know what's going to happen with them.
He's going to steal all the loot. He's going to sweep it and take the gold and steal
His loot and windfall gold gathering has made those instructions a lot easier to carry out. So, plan ponies. You have the amassed forces. You know what you're dealing with and where you have to go and where you have to get to. What orders are you giving these people, and are you taking them all? Are you leaving some? Are you having some for a specific purpose to help you get a position easier, distract his attention, lure him away from the city? Is
I
entirely
reckon
up to you guys.
if we leave a quarter of the forces behind at the city, man the walls, man the trebuchets, evacuate the city, if necessary, the rest with us, and then fucking along the banks of the river. I mean, from the
I
size
think
of
we
him,
we should intercept him while he's in the river. I think that gives us a better chance of climbing.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're basically on the banks, and then we can just range him down a bit.
I don't think we're going to be able to range him. We got to get up there.
Well, I don't know, but the thing is if we fall off in the middle of a river, or like if Tenos falls off in the middle of a river, decked out with fucking 700 pounds of armor on, and
Yeah,
It's
but
like
what happens if
straight
he falls
to the
out? What if he falls out over ground? You just splat.
I mean, I think Telos will be fine.
Could Ken feasibly be launched in the catapult?
Ken has free will, bear in mind.
Father, I can fit in a trebuchet.
Yeah, you could ask Ken to carry one along with him. I'm sure he's strong enough to pick one up.
Carry a trebuchet, perhaps.
Perhaps we could leave the sword with Ken, and when Aphelion gets within a certain range, because hold on, it's got 300-meter range, right?
350 to 400 meters.
So that's 350 to 400. Call it 350. Ken's not a light chap. What's that? Times that by 3. We're looking at like 900 feet sort of thing.
I'll be honest. Can I just say I've got in my head now of Ken saying I can fit in a trebuchet. I've got a little web series of just Ken going, "Father, I can fit in a barrel. Father, I can fit in a shed." Just listing all the things he can fit in.
Yes, Ken. Yes, Ken.
Father, I can fit in a wardrobe.
Literally, as they're walking through there.
I would say I would advise Ken not to get the trebuchet for now, because assuming he does land and he does stay there, he'll be the only one on Athelion.
Yeah, but well, maybe not the other one. So, the river then. Looking at the map of the hammer, where the river is next to the walls, kind of. It looks like it would actually be in range, the trebuchet, when he's in the river.
So we'll have to have some. You got to give ChatGPT a little bit of latitude there. So it's not right up against the river on that side. There's it'd be a little bit of a walk, but yeah, not far from the riverbanks to the to being in range.
Okay, cool. I kind of think Ken could be Operation Last Resort.
He's his own person. Stop using him as a tool.
Are we forgetting about the
actually,
hammer as well?
Yeah, we are forgetting about the hammer, aren't we?
Yeah, but he's probably evil as well.
Yeah.
Father, I will not leave your side. I will protect you. I will make you proud, Father.
Tenos is getting more itching towards actually just riding out to meet Athelion at this rate, as opposed to wading around in some water.
My vote is near bank.
Well, so you want Athelion on the bank, not in the water.
Yeah. I think the water it just makes movement difficult.
Well, we're not gonna be in the water. We're gonna be climbing.
Well, that's what I'm
the water.
saying.
We don't have to climb as high because he's got 200 feet of him. He's underwater.
About half of him.
But I mean, we can still.
Which also means that the fall is 200 feet less.
I mean,
If
you
we're saying-
dared it before.
But if we're saying that the only thing we're going to be doing is crawling up his body, just us.
There's probably going to be fighting the way up. I assume. I don't think we're just going to be crawling up. And it's not going to be like a sheer cliff wall. It's going to be climbing up ledges and paths and stuff.
I mean,
Anyway.
my stance remains unchanged. I think like moving around in water to get to places, water moves.
The point is, we need to be very clear about where on the river are we waiting before we mount a Thilian.
Cliffs?
I don't know. What's the river look like? Are we going by the map we were last at the river? Because there's an island in the middle of the river there on that map.
That was by a secret causeway around the back. Where
Yeah.
he's heading to is deep, and it's not kind of like boats can safely go over it, but it's not the calmest of waters. But it's not the kind of thing where it's a half-skilled boatman isn't going to go, oh dear, we've capsized. The threats are more, we don't know what's in this water, and if that causes any, there's advantages to being higher up. Are there possible disadvantages to, any kind of ability that you have then to distract him once he's in the water?
Yeah.
So there's no kind of mess-free, neat and tidy solution.
Yeah. My vote is attack him while he's in the water. That's my vote.
Okay. Ollie?
There is something to be said about if we need to work our way up him, then we'd need to start early. So I see why Tenos wants to ride out.
So is Tenos saying far bank?
Tenos is saying as close to a Thilian as possible from where we are
We're
now.
going off by the 3 points that the scouts pointed out.
Near bank, far bank, river.
Yeah, far bank.
Okay. So the deciding vote, Ollie. No pressure.
I mean, Rip literally can dimension door right to the top, but it would probably be unwise for him to do so by himself.
You can take 2 people with you, can't you? In Dimension Door?
No.
One.
As
Take
in-
No.
Unwilling
Wait, you can
volunteer.
take someone with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one willing.
A willing volunteer, a willing creature. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that changes everything.
No, it doesn't. Pick something and let's go.
No, it
Changes
We've
does.
wasted
nothing.
enough time talking about it.
Genuine conversation. Does everyone just want to go straight to the top?
Yeah, okay, but where? Near bank, far bank, river.
Far bank, then.
Okay.
Okay. Far bank, other side of the river.
Far
So
bank.
we're crossing the river first, and then we're going to wait for him to attack. We'll approach and we'll attack.
And are we happy? Are
Assuming
we happy?
Rip is going to make a Pearl Dimension Door, give it to someone, then he's going to cast it, and then the person with the Pearl's going to cast it, and all 4 is going to get to the top.
Potentially, yeah.
And are we happy with a reserve force being left back at the town?
Yeah, quarter's fine. I think at least a quarter.
And
Um,
rest
the,
could be, helping us and attacking Athelion, so he's not.
The
Just got us.
word of advice Tenos will give to the forces joining us is fight as if your lives depend on it, because it pretty much does.
And we're not fighting for the hammer or for Amsonville, we're fighting for the whole of Athil and potentially the rest of the world.
Whatever your world is, whether it's the cute barmaid in the Gold Quarter or your family back at home, fight for them.
Faust, nothing to add.
I
You
was
had a great
updating my
speech last
notes.
time.
I mean, I think I'd just reiterate the speech. It's like we fight for all. We fight for all who have been. We fight for all who will come. We fight for our families. We fight for our friends. We fight for freedom. we fight for what may be a better future. A better future free from tyranny, free from fear. We fight for Athil.
So, as you guys are saying this, Tenos, you feel you don't know where it came from. You weren't expecting it. You feel just a little kiss on your cheek from behind. It's a tender, lovely kiss, and words whispered in your ear. I'll be waiting. Y'all come back, won't you? And Faust, you hear behind you. Go on now. You play a tune. It's all right, just this once. Believe me.
All right. I'll crack out my lute and play a rousing song
Valkyries.
And a
to
rousing.
inspire to inspire the troops.
Should have Ride of the Valkyries really for this.
I could do.
Go on.
You hear in your head. We can metal this up if you like.
I just have like, yeah, hell yeah.
So as you guys are riding out, you know, in Mad Max Fury Road,
Oh yeah.
like Faust, he's playing like he's never played before. Like, should he wish it, flames coming out of his lute. Like there is kind of he's standing on a horse. His clothes go all red, and yeah, he's just blasting this out there, and everyone is very inspired by it. So as you are riding out, you're taking 3/4 of the remaining forces with you. You're going out. You're crossing the river, which you all do safely, and you are riding up to meet him. How are you sending the various troops as they are marching? What are you telling them to do? Are you saying attack head on? Are you saying kind of draw him so he turns so that you guys can sneak off and get position? What's the plan?
All right. I reckon if we're aiming for here, then I'd say we'd want forces here, and then with a view that we'd come around here. Would be my suggestion.
You're just using. You're not actually meaning we want to aim there on Athelion. You just.
No. This could be a blank piece of paper.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That makes
I was
more
like,
sense.
we're going for his dick. What?
Punch him right in the dick.
Twist his dick
yeah.
off. Yeah.
I've got a plan. I'll soothe him.
So
There we go.
you're saying they go head on and we go a more indirect route, try and get them behind.
I'd say yeah. If they aim for like his left and right, and then
We'll go his
we
flank.
Go for his rear.
go around the bank. So if you kind of imagine if he's looking this way, then I've got in my mind 1, 2, 3.
So it'd be easier for us to climb something that's moving away from us, not onto us, because we could potentially trample.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if we're using Dimension Door, we don't need to be climbing at all, really.
But the issue with Dimension Door has to be something you can see, right? And if that thing is moving, you could potentially take a lot of damage if you don't get the spot right.
Yeah. If we land in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And if he's moving really fast, you could teleport, and by the time you've got to the other end, he would have moved, and then you just fall down and die.
I mean, he might, dare I say, he might stop if he encounters the forces.
I think
Yeah.
the question is how does the theory of relativity work in Athil? That's the real question.
Yeah.
And I think the real answer lies within some of the more learned people in Athil,
Oh.
who are not you guys, I'm afraid.
Oh, snap.
So, just a quick question. One of my abilities applies to magically forcing a large or smaller creature. I'm guessing that doesn't apply to a ludicrously
This,
Brambdignagian.
yeah. So this is this is on the scale of D&D scales, where it's either colossal or gargantuan. Covers basically anything that is kind of stupidly big and bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Connor. Yeah. Malise would know the physics. Thanks for that message. So yeah. So anything that you've got that would be large or smaller would not have any effect on Athelion.
Fair enough.
But as you are carrying out this plan, you send the main forces basically in standard battle formation. You marching to kind of the front, kind of on 2 points to attack him. And as they come close, you hear like this unnatural, horrifying, guttural kind of. It sounds like thunder, but louder and coming from this thing. But you could tell it's a roar. It's just a. I've no idea how that sounded with the voice changer. But,
Jesus Christ.
Ken stubbed his toe.
And it, as it sees these things towards him, the first few volleys of arrows start kind of plinking off his toes. He does indeed stop. And you've got time to wheel around behind while Athelion is planting his fists in the ground and doing this roar at these at the amassed forces. They do hold their ground, as you knew they would, but it's definitely having a psychological effect on them. And you've got time to go behind just as he looks like he's raising up one fist. Very slowly, kind of. It's that kind of the way that giants move in films. It looks very, very slow, but it looks like he's going to just completely bring it down and take out the company. So what are you guys doing as you are wheeling around behind?
Well, I'm going to cast Aid on the party. Just so we've got that.
8 hours, good stuff. Yep.
I think I'd go Bardic Inspiration for everybody.
Okay.
I'd be like Bardic Inspiration. We're going to do great, guys. We can do it. Go team, and then guidance everybody. It's like you get guidance, you get guidance, you get guidance. There's only one. It's concentration. I get guidance. The rest of you can go fuck yourself.
It's only for a minute. You might want to hold on.
Does anyone
It's a
want
cantrip.
to go earlier, by the way? Basically, do you want a higher initiative? Not really any benefit to a healer, probably not to a warlock either.
I mean, Kenneth would take a higher initiative, but I mean.
I think anybody would take a higher initiative.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great. I'm not just a healer. I'm a buffer and a healer.
There you go. Give it to Wilfred.
I would say, can you? Is it just a one? Is it just a one and
No,
done?
no, I can cast it on everyone. I just don't want to waste all my spell slots.
I mean, maybe it's worth doing it on Rip in the hopes that you can just straight up there with Dimension Door.
Rip's already got a ridiculously high initiative.
Okay.
Ridiculously high.
It's like plus 15 or something as a base.
You watch him roll that one.
Yeah,
We'll have it going 2 weeks.
Still likely to be higher than
That
most
one
of them.
plus
It's still going to be higher, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the dimension idea is inspired. Yeah, I'm interested to see how you pull off.
It's risky still.
Everything's risky.
It's,
Just do it.
there's a walking mountain.
Okay, so I think. Oh, I wanted to save my pearl.
For
Something else.
I've got
If we go the
two
Pearl
spell
idea
slots.
with
If I
Dimension
don't
Door.
have to cast Dimension Door, that would be great.
Bear in mind, there's 5 of us.
Does the Pearl doesn't use one of our spell slots, it's one of yours, doesn't it?
No, yeah. It'll just use one of mine.
Yeah. So, but we can only, if we are doing basically 2 sets of Dimension Doors, take 4 people. So we won't be able to take any additionals like Kane and
Yeah.
what the.
I mean, Tenos is not
Hammerfall.
anti-just climbing. While the magical members of the group are debating.
Well, we can all start climbing, and then if it's shit, we can try the Dimension Door method.
I mean, yeah.
If we can
That's an
see.
idea.
I think worst case, having Dimension Door in a Pearl ready to go, it feels like a good. Oh
Yeah,
shit!
but Ollie wants to save his Pearl. He can only use 1 Pearl.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
It's quite a get out dodge situation.
Father,
This feels
I
like-
can climb. I am adept at climbing. You must
Maybe
fulfill your
thank-
purpose.
Yeah. I also
Nothing
do
will stop
have.
me being by your side.
We do this together, Ken.
Yeah. I do have something up my sleeve in case something bad does happen. But
Something bad's definitely going to happen.
How bad does it have to get?
All right.
someone
Well, okay.
falls
Well,
off,
should we
I might
just?
help him?
All right. Should we
But,
just
might
start
have to get
walking?
back straight away, but I might stop them from dying.
Let's just jump on the back of the foot, back of the leg.
How does the Pearl
Yeah.
work? Is it something that you've got to prepare ahead of time?
No, well, I just cast a spell in, and I form the spell into a pearl. But
But it's an action.
yeah, it's just an action, and it could be done in advance because it's got an hour, so it could be done now before initiative. But
Is that action? What else is that action to be used for? What else is your oh shit get out of jail free card used for?
it's just another nuclear plan.
Let's climb a giant.
No, let's just dimension door up. We're just going to get annihilated on the way up otherwise, and then
About the journey.
Well, Mr. Frodor, let's climb up.
okay, votes. Who wants to climb? Who wants to?
I'm either
Well,
way, so-
start climbing in Dimension Door.
Okay.
Agreed.
Because I mean, I'm sure I'm making an assumption that Rick's put more effort in than if we just skip past everything and then sad times for
Well,
Rick.
we could get knocked back down. Who
Oh, no,
knows?
so to be clear, like I have no views whatsoever about which option we should do at all. You know you have to get to the head. If you have tools to get to the head, great. I haven't looked at your character sheets in detail. I've not planned out what you may or may not do. So if there's a way of getting to the head quickly, that's possibly the safest option for you guys. Likewise, so like. Trust me, there is enough I've planned here that I will not be unsatisfied. But like it's entirely up to you guys. Like the whole point of having all of your spells, abilities, extra stuff, is to kind of go, oh, I can use that thing. So don't feel like you can't because you feel like it'll rob me of an opportunity. That's not what we're here for.
I think I'd definitely climb a little bit to see what it's like. There might be something interesting, you never know, and then we can just always dimension door after that.
Yeah, I think so.
As we jump on, Tenos will poke Rip in the stomach and say, "A bit of exercise never hurt anyone."
But having that pearl good to go what before you're using an action for anything else sensible.
But the thing is, he wants to
Oh,
use that
it's
pill for
funky.
something else, potentially. He doesn't want to
Okay.
just save it for Dimension Door. That's the issue. That's the dilemma.
Yeah.
This looks funky.
Well, this is awesome.
So this isn't kind of a one-to-one identical battle map of what kind of the route that you're going to take, but this is kind of a rough description of the scene. So this is kind of like the climbing, scrabbling. You're mostly going up. You can see where you're heading towards the top. You can see that kind of the rocky facade has kind of like lava-y type, almost blood flowing through it. It's spilling out here and there, but also wrapped around the rock are kind of tendrils and kind of more organic moving bits of epithelium that seem kind of embedded and part of the rock. So you guys can start climbing up that, but it's fairly obvious that there's stuff going on. So I'm gonna need everyone to start making some checks for your climbing.
Oh fuck.
Let's go.
Dimension Door.
What's that? Is that athletics?
So let me
Or-
make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh shit! Yeah, acrobatics is way better. Let's go for that. That one.
Ooh.
Plus a
I can add a
D4.
D4. Okay.
Okay, so
Oh no, only I'm guidance.
Oh my
That's
god,
all
that's terrible.
All right. So
Considering that's my best
me.
skill, that's bad.
So I think the first one. Let's have that one. That one's there. So as you try and climb up, there's just a fail completely as you try and climb, but you realise that what you thought was a handhold gives you a nip, and you realise that you've put your hand straight into a gibbering mouther who is embedded in the rock. And everyone roll initiative, please.
Little gibbering mouths.
We
Who's
haven't
got
got
tokens?
tokens.
Oh, I need your tokens there. Yeah, that's my bad. So we've got Fred, we've got Rip, we've got Faust, we've got Tenos, we've got Ken.
Do you roll again?
I can add them in. So you four, you're behind. You guys are on. that side.
So Rip, Tenos, and Faust all have +5 to their max health for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, I've added it in. A quick question on Bloodletter with the +4. Do you want me to add that in the weapon or roll that after I do an attack?
We'll roll that after you do attack, and then it'll be
Okay.
every round. It'll be this person bleeding.
Just easier to keep track of it with a separate roll.
Yeah. So
Fair enough.
add turn.
How do I make it so my name and health pops up?
Rick has to do it.
Ah,
Rick, when you do it, you set the tokens default. You shouldn't have to do it every time.
Yeah, I thought I'd done that, but let's do first. You have that as hippy hip. Default token, save. There we go.
Ta.
Cool. And I should do can. Why is Ken not showing up? Come on, Ken.
Ken is showing.
Again, just hasn't rolled.
Ah,
I can roll him. Hang on. There you go.
Okay, for some reason that's not working. I don't know if you guys can see that roll 20, but I can't see that roll from Ken. But that's all right. Probably have too
There
many
you go.
things open. So,
you got to select him.
I thought I did.
no, for some reason it's not working, but we'll figure it out. So, okay, Maltha second to last. Rip, as the one who initiated this fight. Oh, now it's coming up.
Their luck, I think.
Okay.
You rolled a -1 on that last one.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
Ken is not very dexterous.
Rip's going to move a bit further away from this edge.
So we're going to kind of hand wave distances and stuff because this isn't like a one-to-one map. So it's and these things are embedded in the rock. But the one thing that I will say is that the I'll put you guys over that side. Rip is on one side of it. Everyone else is on another side of it. So Rip is going to have to get past this thing somehow. If you want to just mosey on past it.
Okay. Did you just move everyone? Because I haven't seen any movement.
So I've put Rip is on the left of the Maltha, everyone else is on the right of it.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. Right. I think if he could, he'd move a little bit further back, just slightly out of range, hopefully. I think he's just gonna straight up attack it. Yeah. Cool. Let's do that. So, oh no, hold on. What? Right, let me where's it on here? Chill touch, there we go. Bloop. Does 24 hit?
24 does hit.
13 necrotic.
Roll 20 is being upsettingly slow for me, so I'm gonna have to pen and paper this. How much necrotic?
13.
13. Cool. Another 13. Excellent. And can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Jesus. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Lucked him with that.
What was that?
17.
17.
Okay, cool. You are fine, but the area around this Maltha is difficult terrain. Wilfred, you're up.
Trying to think what I could do without wasting stuff early on. Saving it for later on. Epithelium.
I mean, you guys are these things being embedded in the rock. You are able to just carry on.
Yeah.
Rip might get into a bit of trouble, but you kind of have the ability to abandon these encounters if you're able to get past.
Okay, I'm gonna ready an action for when Rip encounters the whatever it's called. the chitterer again. If he gets attacked, I will heal him, or if he gets in touch range of me, I will then. Which one is it? Resistance. It requires touch. So if he gets attacked and lose health, I will cast Cure Wounds. Is that the right touch one as well? What's the other one? I've got too many spells. Healing Word. I'll Healing Word if he gets attacked. If he gets in melee range, I will give resistance.
Okay, cool. Tenos, your go.
Thanos keen to test out his new weapon. We'll look at dispatching this to help him through. So he'll go to attack.
Okay, as you go close to it, you find that the ground is difficult terrain going close to it, but you don't have any problems getting up close to it.
Cool. Right, I'm gonna go to stab it. So is it like just an opening in the rock, or is it like sort of poking out? Or
So it's kind of, it looks like it's trying to escape the rock, but it's very much kind of fused with it, as though it's kind of a bit of the rock is becoming alive and organic, and it just has eyes and mouths all around it, and they're just constantly babbling incoherently.
right, well, I will encourage it to stop babbling with the pointy end of the sword. And okay,
You're gonna have
first
to tell me
crit.
what you roll, because I can't see the rolls on
Oh,
roll 20 are
not
taking
20.
about 5 minutes.
You
Uh,
got 29.
29.
Yeah, 29.
Well, that definitely hits.
So the 14 plus 4, and then also the 1d4 is 2.
So what's the total there?
So it's 18 total, and then the forever taking 2 damage per turn.
So that's 18, so that's 31. Plus, what was the d4?
2.
2. Okay, so it's
Does that stack?
3.
That dot?
No, it just for every turn for the rest of its life, it will take
No,
2
but
damage.
if he makes another cut, is that
Oh.
going to be another 1d4?
We'll find out.
That'd be too strong.
Okay, well, surprise, surprise. I'm going to attack it again. Oh,
Double crit. That's 2 crits in a row.
Another crit.
Another crit, Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll your damage.
that's 18 damage.
18, so that's...
You need to be saving your crits for later.
1. Okay, yep.
And the d4 on that is 1.
But you don't get D4 anymore, do you?
I guess
You
on
just
the
say it
other
doesn't
side.
stack. So it takes 2 damage forever, unless you wanted to change it to 1 damage.
What are the rules?
So every... so once per turn,
Okay,
you
got
can
you.
roll a d4.
Got
and
you,
it'll
got
take
you.
that damage.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, okay, well, I got another attack. Oh, just 12.
12 hits.
Oh, wow. 14.
14, so that's 65. Okay.
Damage.
Okay. Good. It is now it's now the Malva's turn. It will attack. It'll make 2 bite attacks against Rip. So I don't know if these are showing up for you guys, those attacks. Okay.
No.
So this is really annoying. We need someone to roll for me D20 plus 2 twice.
Plus 2.
Yeah.
Roll for just lighting and attacking the group.
And if they if they hit
A
Rip's
4 and a
AC.
12.
If it helps you, Rick,
I
I've
rolled
shared
2 plus
screen.
2 and 10 plus 2.
Does 12 hit your AC, Rip?
12 does, yeah. Unless I've got that armor buff. No one's put out that armor buff, have they?
Oh, no.
No. So
I was
you
going to say that for a better encounter.
So can you please take 5d6 piercing damage?
No, because as a reaction, I'm going to add +5 to my AC and cast shield.
Nice.
So how the fuck does 12 hit? Are you up here in your nightgown?
I've got 11 AC.
Oh, you've used shield as a reaction. Okay.
Yeah, shield makes sense.
Oh, Dave's stream, so Rick can see. Okay.
Oh yes, Rick, I use shield, which gives me +5.
Okay.
So it means neither hit.
Okay. So in that case, it's going to use blinding spittle. So the Mouther spits a chemical glob at a point it can see within 15 feet of it, which will be Tenos, and explodes in a blinding flash of light on impact. Each creature within 5 feet of the flash must succeed on a DC 13 Dex saving throw or be blinded.
Ooh.
So who's that hitting? Just Tenos.
So Tenos and anyone who's honest and is standing next to Tenos.
Probably can.
Probably
Just
can.
10. No.
13. 13 on 10.
Yeah, I think because Tenos went to attack it, I don't think he'd be next to Wilfred and Faust.
No.
So 13, so the DC is 13, so that's a pass. Can you please roll for Ken, which will be D20 minus 3.
5.
Ken's blinded. Lovely.
And I would just say, be alright, yeah.
I was not quick enough, Father. I cannot see.
You're still getting used to your body.
Faust is your go.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be best to cast Eldritch Blast.
28 and 14.
Yep, both hit.
24 points of damage. End of turn.
Wait, can you try and push it?
With these things, with these Eldritch Blasts, this thing just kind of keeps on going and just melts into the ground, and you just feel a little rumble. But this Mouther is no more, and you can continue climbing up.
Tenos attempts to kind of get any goop or anything out of Ken's. I like to stop him from being blinded.
I'm just going to take a risk and quickly try and refresh Roll20 because literally nothing's working on it.
Yeah, I think as soon as you hit refresh, all your rolls came through.
So you managed to get the goop. So you managed to kind of polish off his eyes, and it seems that it was a temporary effect, and it's not something that he is permanently down by. That's better. I can use it now. So yeah, you guys can carry on forging up, and make me another check, please.
Gonna be the same
athletics
check as
or
before?
acrobatics.
Should we maybe just teleport? In the meantime, Rip cast Mage Arm on himself.
That is wide.
That sounds like a good idea.
Ooh,
Okay. So
we are all nimble. Yeah.
Ollie, can you try on yours?
What am I doing? Acrobatics.
Acrobatics or athletics? Go on, Mr. Wizard.
Oh,
18.
nice.
Hey!
Nice.
Okay.
Filled with the joys of spring.
So you managed to get past the as you're climbing up. There's a few kind of slips and trips and movements, but because this thing is still moving, but you have a few stumbles, like feet slip out, and you see beneath you like an oozing black pudding, you might call it, kind of whipping up its tendrils to try and grab you, but you managed to get past that one, so you avoid that quite nicely, and you make it a bit further up. And I would like everyone to make me another check. These are getting harder the higher up you go, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just keep rolling like 15s and 16s.
Hey.
Is it cheating to guidance before every single roll? Because I would do it.
It's a
But I
cantrip.
don't know.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
But yeah. Well, what do you say, Rick? Is it allowed? Because if so, I'll do it as well.
I mean, it's allowed, but it just means that it might be worse if it goes wrong.
Okay, I'm not going to risk it then.
Right, acrobatics.
I'll let Faust risk it,
Oh.
as he's tempted fate.
Once again, so I will put you. So most of you get past, but as Rip tries to get past, an arm just reaches out, and because you got that low a score and the nature of this thing, I think that it gets it gets a surprise round on you.
Ooh.
And so let me clear the board of this. And yeah, we need another round of initiative, please.
Oh. 7!
18. Yes.
Okay. So
Rip doesn't have any initiative.
There we go. 18.
So, as the surprise round, you are going to get a massive arms attack. Rip. 12. You cast Mage Armor, so I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
Thank you for that.
But you also get 2 more attacks like that, as it does its actual round. So it's 17, 25.
Yes.
Okay, so you take 41 bludgeoning damage. And again, what you see is kind of this. It looks like a kind of a giant or an ogre that its top half is kind of trying to get out of the mountain, but it's fused with the stone and is lashing out with these big, giant, hulking arms and just pummeling you. So you're down 41 damage. It is your go.
Really using up all my spells if I use bastards continuously.
You do have a get out of jail free card. You can just.
Well, I can't. On the other side of this creature to everyone right now, so.
How far away from the top are we? Is this the head? Are we most of the way up?
Think of that as the hip.
Okay.
So there's the stages are. We're going to go up the legs. And we're going to go up arms, shoulders, torso. Then you'll be at the head. So kind of three stages.
Is the creature big? Would it have reach? Like, is it capable of reach?
It has 15-foot reach.
Jeez, wow. And I'm below it.
Yeah, I mean you can try and so it is blocking your path. You can try and do if there's a way that you can get past it, then that'll allow you to kind of carry on, or you can subdue it like you did with the gibbering mouther. It's entirely up to you how you want to play it. But this thing is, again, like the other, it is fused into the rock. It has an effective speed of 0.
Okay. Constitution.
You not time magic past it.
That it's tempting, but it's a Constitution saving throw, which is probably very high on. That would be wasting my wasting an action.
Just run past it, you'll be fine.
You know what? Actually, I will. I will cast momentary stasis on it. Can it do a Constitution saving throw? What's my spell save? 17.
17, okay. It has +8 to its con saving throw.
Fuck.
18.
Oh, that was close.
In which case, as a bonus action, I'll cast Misty Step and jump to way.
Nice.
Okay.
Good call.
So, move to unoccupied space. Is everyone else running away from this thing?
Yes, but I will. Your wounds.
Thank you.
Oh, I've got to hit the button. Haven't I? Is it that? Oh no, I've got to do it on.
If we don't need to engage with it, it would make sense to move away.
So, bearing in mind the reach that this thing has, anyone who's taking an action, like casting spells, will, if they then run away, because this thing has a lot of reach, will be subject to opportunity attacks.
Let's just all move. It's just
because you won't
Wait,
be
can
able to
I,
disengage.
can I do this as I'm running away if I'm healing because it's a touch spell?
Well, yeah, actually, that's the point because Rip would have jumped the full 30 foot, either above them, wherever.
So I'll run away, and then when I've ran away,
Maybe just do the spell out of initiative.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rick calls it, I'll do that.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that. I mean, the point
Okay,
is,
yeah.
I'll wait until
you're losing spell slots as you do it.
Yeah, Rip would say it's hold your heels.
You say there's time.
There's always time for a health potion.
Well, you can have a health potion, sure. Save a
Plenty of
spell
potions.
later on.
More potions than party members.
Health potions are the friends we made along the way.
There we go.
Right.
Right.
Are you bringing some health potions on Saturday?
I mean, I did get.
Have you still got the ones?
I did. Well, the couple I kept because they looked fun started. The cork started going mouldy underneath. So, yeah. I do have some mead though. That's very nice. So yeah, because only one of you kind of failed it. There was only Rip that was trapped. He took his licks. Everyone is free to escape if they wish.
Okay.
Since it is
Yeah.
no one else's turn. Okay.
Run away.
So yeah, you've not taken much damage there. I will put you all together so I can copy you all over.
So is Rip chugging a potion?
Yeah, he's going to chug a potion. How well do you do hit points for potions?
So we're doing 10 hit points per potion.
Jeez, okay.
And make sure you take off potion from the number of potions you have.
Yeah.
That's a very cool map.
So put you guys. Yeah.
They're all cool.
For some reason, it's only pasted fast. How delightful.
Everyone else fell off.
So as you get higher, you realise that it's getting. It's getting colder as you go up. So the environment is more icy and windy. As like what was kind of higher up the mountain, you get close to that environment. So that means that getting up is more difficult than it was. It's a lot more slippy, and the kind of movements that are happening, particularly around the arms, is more dramatic. Every now and then, there is a loud thud. You reckon that about 3 companies have been flattened by now.
Ooh.
That was their purpose. But as you ascend, you definitely feel like you're getting closer, but also there are a number of things that kind of give you more of a sense of urgency behind it. So the sword slung on Tenos's back is kind of almost throbbing. Like you can feel the energy coming off it. The Dovkin's ring is just kind of sending out kind of thoughts of, this is the opportunity to do good. Just do good. This is a moment to prove our worth. Faust, you hear from deep inside you, time is coming. Something big's coming. I can sense it. And you're going to make good, boy. I would like to make everyone to make another athletics or acrobatics check, please.
Before we do that, if we did decide to maybe use spell.
Sorry, what you're missing, Rick, just is Matthew, and I'm calling him Matthew, not Matt or Matty. Matthew posted Tenos's throbbing sword in the in the secret group.
I didn't want to interrupt Rick as he was talking, so I just typed it in there.
Like everyone just started laughing, and it feels a bit unfair of him just going, "Why is everyone laughing?"
Yeah.
To give you a clue, this thing here, you can see a fair few things that kind of look a bit like that along the path that you're going to be taking.
Nothing where?
Towards the top of the map.
Oh, right, okay. I was too zoomed in, I didn't see.
If I take Tenos, can you take Wilfred? Faust. Straight to the moon.
I've only got 2 spell slots. I'd really rather not. I'd rather use yours. I've only got 2. But if that's not an option, then technically I can.
Did you not get spell slots from your long rest?
I've only got two spell slots. Warlock.
Tenos is not going to leave Ken to climb up the mount, up the side of the ceiling on his own.
Father, I am strong. I will make you proud. Nothing will stop me from being by your side. You must stay safe.
Out of curiosity, what is this thing? It looks like a sliver from Magic the Gathering.
I don't play Pokemon.
He's gathering magic.
Burn. Tenos will put a hand on Ken's shoulder and just be like, you must make it to the top.
Father, I will make you proud. Destiny awaits.
Are we dimensioning door?
Levitate on him and we just push him in the direction of the top. And then dimension door up there and hope he makes it.
I mean,
what's
okay.
what's the distance limitation on levitate?
60-foot range, but I don't think. No, I don't think. Oh yes, it's concentration. Yeah, so it would drop. Yeah.
Oh.
I was very tempted to levitate myself to get over the obstacles, but we'll still get in more fights because it's not going to be just Rip that fails everyone. I think it is timely to mention Door, isn't it?
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
if your sword's throbbing, then maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Thanos doesn't particularly want to lead Ken, but trusting him to ascend and meet us there.
You're right. Is he gone? Is he gone? He's gone to laugh.
I'm sorry,
No, I
you're
was
not
good.
actually a nerd. It's okay.
I was just going to go and get my my crate of Magic the Gathering cards.
He's just gone for a good throb.
Yeah. Oh. I've got my emergency bag of cards just here.
Yeah. Right. Are we dimensioning Door or not?
Oh, it's completely up to Rip. It's his spells if he wants to use
Well,
them.
I don't think.
Well, it's Rip and Faust. It can't just not.
Yeah, 'cause that's the thing. If I use a bead, it means I have to use 2 spell slots as well as the bead. So
Yeah, but does Faust have Dimension Door as well?
yeah.
Yeah, but I've only got 2 spell slots.
Oh, right.
Have you actually got any decent spells there?
What other Warlock spells have you got that you want to use?
Eldritch Blast and Eldritch Blast.
Summon
Never.
Aberration, Banishment, Wall of Flame, Counter Spell, Remove Curse.
Banishment.
As a party, we are quite strong when we get a decent round of attack in, so we could probably attack our way up.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
saving throws.
Probably.
It's
at the end of the
saving
day, it's
throw.
up to those who have the spell if they want to use it. If not, they'll just go
Yeah.
another way.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
if I've got to use it, I'll use it. If I don't, I won't.
So the things to consider are the fights up, whether that will wear you guys down sufficiently, or if how much of a consideration getting up there as quickly as possible is. There's a fair
Keep one
few
underneath.
casualties,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the longer you take, the more likely it is that all of the attacking forces will die. That might not be a consideration, but it's something that the characters would be aware of, because you're on this thing as it's pounding down.
So
Wise man
Wolfgang
once said,
was
if you
one
cannot
thing.
kill easily, speed is the key.
You know what? I'll use the bead. I've got a different. So do that. Turn 1 dimension door into a bead. And give that bead to Wilfred.
Okay.
Who will take care?
And Rip would put his hand on Tanis's shoulder and do a dimension door up to the
Nape.
Trapezoid.
traps. That's it. Up to the traps. So he can still see the plan is to be able to see the whole battlefield in front, the arms, and the back of the head.
Okay.
So 2 dimension doors down. Bloop, bloop. There we go.
I suppose I'll use the other one. I guess I'll bring good old Faust with me.
Yay!
I'll go to wherever they teleported to.
I was waiting for a quip on trustworthiness then.
Is he making any kind of attack? Is he mid swing at the moment or anything? At Fillion.
So Athelion is kind of constantly kind of raising his arms up, doing like stomping type movements. You know, these people they're moving around. Some of them are quite nimble, but he's kind of his attention is focused on killing the army, rather than kind of continuing the advance on the city.
So, I think just as we get there, if he was about to stomp down, we should be in range. Rip would actually cast a wall of force against the kind of forearm of Aphelion as he's coming down, and create a kind of, what can I do, 10 foot panel, so probably enough to cover that arm, probably double panelled up.
Okay. And this is the wall of force that can't be penetrated by anything at all in the world ever.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Nothing can physically pass through the.
Good. Love these smells that you guys have at level 11. Okay, so...
Imagine if level 20.
So, let me just pop you guys over.
That's got to be so true. It must be so annoying at level 20.
Uh,
You just the number of actuallys.
Actually, I cast Wish and this never happened.
a quick point for Ken as well. Tenos's parting notes would be to avoid conflict and get up as quick as you can. As a general guidance.
I understand, Father. I will come to your aid as soon as possible.
I can fit in this cave.
So,
I can fit in this creature's mouth.
so you dimension door and you emerge. If I can move the flipping thing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
On the back of Athelion, and you can see glowing in the back of its head a large kind of series of intertwining, moving purple glyphs that very much mirror what you saw around when you first encountered the sword sticking through the mountain, and what then started coalescing along the actual blade when you removed it. You see this large spot in the back of his head, and you can almost hear in Tauchi's voice, all of you in your head, "It's here, that's it, pierce deep, I'm the soul, I'm the power, the souls converge, pierce deep, this is our destiny." As you get to the top though, Athelion gives out another almighty roar as his fist comes down, but is blocked by this unexpected wall of force as a unit of the army is saved for a bit, and this unholy roar comes out, and you guys are very, very close to the source of that. So I'm going to need everyone to make a pretty high DC Constitution saving throw, please. The consequences of which will be, if a failing, will be a combination of psychological damage, fear, dropping gear, that kind of thing.
Right, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use that to reroll.
You still got the Bardic Inspiration as well.
Oh,
Do we all have Bardic Inspiration?
All of you.
Oh,
what's that?
Oh, I'm
is
saying that
D4?
it lasts for a period.
yeah.
So do we have it?
10 minutes. So have we been on it for more than 10 minutes?
I think we've been on there longer than 10 minutes. haven't we?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna reroll that.
3 Bardic Inspirations wasted then. Thanks all round.
Oh, and I rolled exactly the same again. What the
Oh,
fuck?
jeez.
Don't worry, I got 13 as well. We could be 13 buddies.
All right, fine.
As we're
13 it is.
psychologically traumatized by this experience.
No one's using their inspiration. Interesting.
No, I have inspiration.
Don't have it.
Have you used it all up? Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what?
Is this psychic damage, you say, Rick?
It will be, yeah.
Can I invoke something we might have discussed?
I mean, if you're going to evoke anything, this session and next session is the time to do it.
Okay, I'm not going to do it. Go away.
You know what? Everyone's rolled a bad roll here, haven't they?
They're not great.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
We've all
you know what?
rolled 13 or lower, yeah.
I release you.
Okay. As let me just double check the words of this. So, as Rip says the words, "I release you," and you see, would it be in your hand or on your finger?
On my finger.
You see a glow coming from his finger as this wind that's got form floats out of the ring, and the crystal that was in it loses its light and its color and just turns to looking like dim glass, and you feel this spirit around you, and you feel bolstered by the strength of a dragonborn, but also the power of Ilmater, of being able to kind of pull you through suffering. And this has given everyone advantage on saving throws.
Does that include the one we just did?
I'm gonna say that for the purposes of this, given that you are using an expendable item, and this is now expended, yes, for this roll, and you feel the spirit of Dovkin feeling relief at being freed and able to continue on to his afterlife, while being able to imbue you all with this little bit of extra strength before he departs. And as he's kind of whispering around, Faust, you hear in your ear as the whisper goes through, "I'll never stop believing in you." And then it dissipates. And I will now put this in everyone's thing.
Can I use my chronal shift then as a reaction?
Well, are you using the extra little thing that it does as well? You can choose one member of the party for it to apply to, or no parties. It's not obligatory.
Oh wait, what was the extra? Hold on.
The last line of the top paragraph.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's that happening to?
Rip.
Okay, everyone sees after this happened, Rip disappear.
And can I use the chronal shift to do my reroll? It's my
Please
time
do.
wizarding. And let's get rid of all of those. I've got to use the second roll, so let's hope it's not shit. What's it, cons? Okay, come on. Cool. Okay.
Okay, so even with the advantage, that still leaves Faust pretty low on that saving throw. And I think that Faust is the only one who ended up below 20. Yeah.
I think that's in keeping. It doesn't strike me that that Dorfkin's words would do anything.
Ooh.
Ouch. So you take some psychic damage. 26 psychic damage.
Fuck me.
Your speed is reduced by 10 feet for the entire time that you are within sight of Athelion. How bad was it? 11. That's pretty bad. And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh.
Okay, that's... You don't fall off Athelion.
Oh, fuck me.
Well done, Ollie, on using that. I think we all kind of needed that.
An 8 or below, you would have fallen off Athelion.
Jeez.
Faust has not had a good run with... Like, this is the first time that Faust has, like... It's always Faust who's falling off something.
See, and now, see, this time, if I fall off something... See, last time, I've only realised after the event I had 3 different ways of stopping that from happening.
So, you have this thing ahead of you. What are you
Go on,
guys gonna do?
Tedos, bury your throbbing sword into the back of his head.
I mean,
Insert
insert it
Penetrate.
slowly. Yeah, definitely. Let's climb up the neck and get the sword in there. So, I think won't quite unsheath the sword yet. Just sort of, we need both hands for climbing first.
Would it be an overhead stab?
You guys all going to make sure that Tenos is stable and does it properly and help him out, or you guys staying down there? Put yourselves, position yourselves on the map where you would be.
I'll be right beside Tenos.
You know what? He's made of stone, is he?
No, not exclusively.
Okay. I just
Why?
wondered if
What
I
are
can
you
use. Can I use mold earth to make steps for Tenos?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a legitimate use of this spell. This has been ground for the other. It's a cantrip. I thought I was making you use of a spell slot. Yeah. So. Yeah, 5 foot of this. Actually, yeah, you can keep doing it. You can make little steps.
Cool.
So yeah, position yourselves where you would be.
I should be honest. I think Rip would have a hand on Tenos' shoulder and be following him up the steps, so making a new step each time.
I mean, to be fair, the steps are probably going to be more useful when we get to like just underneath the runes and the symbols, right? You can probably.
Well, we'll see what happens when we get up there first.
Yeah, let's keep moving up.
So, I'm just gonna clamber up.
Rip is always going to stay with behind Tenos, kind of a bit like a security, just walking him up.
I'm just waiting for Faust to betray us in some way.
What the fuck? Is this out of initiative?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, in that case, I'd use a combination of message and charm person. Charm person? Not charm person. Suggestion, sorry. To say to Athelion, lie down on your front.
I told you, I was waiting for it.
And crush the hammer.
If he lies down on his back, we're on his back, aren't we?
What the fuck?
Do you want him to crush the people below us?
I mean, if they're below us anyway, I mean,
I'm half tempted to counterspell now.
I applaud the gumption of Faust going, yeah, this could be confused for a mountain. This is a thing that we know was made now to kill eldritch gods. I think my level 2 suggestion spell will make him just go away.
I mean, I don't. He's not made a saving throw.
I admire your moxie for doing that. It does not succeed. In fact, if you'd like me to make the saving throw, I will. There we go.
Oh, that's.
But everyone can just see Faust going. Relax. Lie on your tum tum.
This is why I waited for
But it does not work. As you guys are kind of climbing up this, you can hear in the background.
Father, I am near. I am lightly scathed, but I am coming. I am not far behind.
Go on,
Rip did already cast, just very casually as we were walking up the steps. He casted Gift of Alacrity on Tenos when he was touching his shoulder.
Oh, what 1d8 to initiative rolls. That's nice.
For the next 8 hours. Nice.
Lovely. So, I'm going to climb up to this kind of part here where the runes kind of start, and then kind of at that point get the sword off his back and take off the wrappings and hold it by the blade, by the haft.
I'll also do that as we're climbing, just in case.
Oh, okay.
Is Faust within 10 foot of the group? Is he following us up, or is he
Just about.
Okay.
Plus 2 AC. Oh, I'm going to have to stick that on now before I forget.
Until the next attack, so it only lasts for one attack.
So, do we think we need to be right in the middle of the head, or should we try and do it from here?
I mean, it changes size.
I mean, the middle, right?
When you swing, it'll just go really big and just go in the middle.
Well, I'll try it from there. I'll try it from that bit, and I'll kind of hold the sword and be like, "Come on, Talchi, let's do that."
So as you kind of get out again and you kind of make your swing, you do feel like it wants to go up. Like it is getting itself. It's impossible to say this now without giggling occurring, but it's starting to get bigger in your hands. It wants to go up and hit its mark. You can like try and plunge it in here, but you can feel that it wants to. It wants to go up higher.
So Dennis will attempt to climb up. Like this at this point, it's digging in and climbing as if like on climbing a sheer vertical face to get.
So there are plenty
as close
of
to the middle
handholds and things, and the mold earth. You can like have like a platform essentially to help do that. Likewise, if everyone else has, if other people have things that can help get you there as well, then they can use that to aid your stability. But you get there and like you feel like this is meant to be. This is where this is where this sword's journey was meant to take you, and you start swinging it, and as you bring it up, the blade kind of elongates. It doesn't feel any heavier or more difficult to wield, but you just feel like the blade is getting bigger, and it's kind of a smoky, ashy cloud of purple haze is coming around it. And just as you are about to make the blow, you hear from the sky behind you the beating of wings, and you hear a voice that resonates with Faust in particular. You hear, "Hurry, quick! You only have a couple of seconds. Stab it!" And it's the sound of Buttercup. Or the lady, as she is now called, urging you as quickly as possible to stab the sword into this thing. She is pleading with you, saying, "Hurry, do it now," as she is hanging on desperately to the still rotting looking carcass of this reanimated dragon, which is making a beeline for you, desperate to get this sword off you.
It would help Tenos in any way possible to help him do it. Helping him force it in or whatever.
So I'm just just about to thrust it in. Before I thrust it in, I'm just kind of quickly turned around to the group and look down, very aware that we're at the top of a zillion, and just kind of look back and say, "Guys, I hope you have a plan for getting down," and then thrust it into the back of the head.
So you thrust into the back of the head, and as you do, it's like this blade becomes the size that it was when you first encountered it in the mountain, this impossibly big blade. The hilt kind of is expands the full width of his head. Like, it's suddenly, like, this is now a sword that it would be a sensible size for Athelion himself to be wielding, and you've pierced it into the back of his head. And as you do, everything just slows down as the moment it goes in to the hilt, you stab it deep. The dragon's teeth are drawing up close to you. Cairn is trying desperately to climb up. There is a flash of brilliant white light and like an ear-piercing, deafening, high-pitched sound. And for a second, none of you guys can see anything except bright light. And then you hear Tauchi's voice, as though he's standing right next to you. "The convergence is here." And you kind of rub your eyes, and you all find yourselves in a completely white space. It feels like there's no up, there's no down, there's no floor, there's no sky. There's just white. There's solid ground beneath you, but you cannot see it. There is just white all around you. And you have in front of you, your size, a humanoid who has Tauchi on one knee, clutching onto the back of his cloak, looking drained, completely done, as this figure is looking at you. And you have a dragon that has just crashed next to you, but is on the other side of you, rearing up, ready to pounce. And the dragon says to you all, "So, it is here that we fight." And that's where we're going to call it.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
For you are now going to face off against both the hammer and the soul of Athelion.
Oh, yeah, the hammer was the bad guy. Soul of Obsidian, he's not a bad guy.
He's just misunderstood.
Can we suggest that he takes a lie down?
You can try
Just like
again.
take a chill pill.
Have you
God.
tried Feng Shui? Declutter your life, Athelion.
So you got to Marie Kondo that shit, Athelion.
Holy shit. I assume we don't have the sword with us. As in, Tauchi is the sword.
The sword is on his knees, clutching at the back of his brother.
I did realise that the steps appearing out of nowhere and the hand on Tenos' shoulder, Rip was invisible that whole time. It would have just been like someone was slowly
It's true,
pushing you
yep.
up the steps.
I mean, it's not the strangest thing
No.
in the context of what we're doing.
So next session we will dive straight into you guys versus a dragon who feels wronged, and a sort of god who you just tried to kill using his brother.
So
I think-
regarding next session, I'm not available on the Wednesday or Thursday, Friday.
Or
Are we
Friday.
able to- Yeah. I think I'm going to Thorpe Park with someone on Friday. Yeah. Yeah. So Wednesday night, I'm going out for a birthday meal at like 7 p.m. So I won't be able to do it then. Thursday, I'm going down to Bristol to see Stuart, and then I'm meeting up with Dave on the Friday for my birthday. But I'm available Monday, Tuesday next week.
So I can't do Monday. I think I can do Tuesday. It will be the finale.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise-
snap.
Ooh.
I mean, unless you guys take a really, really long time to complete the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, unless we talk for 4 hours before starting the fight.
But all the spell slots are gone, so that takes away the decisions.
Yeah.
I think I only used one.
The only spell slot I've used is for suggestion.
I mean, it was very good foresight to avoid all of the extra little wearing you down encounters.
Yeah.
I think from my perspective, highlights is Cairn now just telling Tenos everything that he can fit in. Big plus. And secondly, Rick describing in great detail Tenos' sword and how it's starting to get bigger in your hands, and he wants to go up. And here's Mark. You can try and plunge it in here, but it wants to go higher.
Hey, you guys.
Well, I
Save that for the recording.
Saying, "Father, I'm coming." And it's like, what if you didn't call him father?
Daddy.
Yeah.
Tenos has a special relationship with Ken.
And I haven't even pressed stop recording yet.
Oh no.
So,
Oh man.
shall we figure out if we are doing Tuesday or skipping a week, as we kind of look at diaries and things like that?
Wait, when is Sarah due?
Wednesday. So last Saturday she had contractions for about 5 hours and then they stopped. It was like proper go time. We shipped Henry off to the in-laws. He thought this was it. Everything was like last time, and then it just like stopped. So fuck knows.
Okay.
But yeah, her due date is Wednesday. Hey, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Yeah. I think I can probably do Tuesday. I can't do Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
I'm not sure.
'Cause Matt is a
I'll
pain.
figure it out.
I could do Tuesday. It's fine.
Or it's
But
my
I'm-
birthday.
I will work around.
Yeah, I'll try and have a figure out. Probably can't do Tuesday, but I'll see if I can move around a bit to do Tuesday. I'm gonna have to jump off because one of the children are shouting. Also,
Oh,
Lovely.
lovely.
Excellent.
Well, in that case, we'll see you
Have
when
fun.
we see you.
yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for the game. It was
Yeah, thank you.
awesome.
All right.
Super duper awesome.
Exciting stuff. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Mr. Rick.